What's up, bomb ass moms? My name is Tierney,
I'm Ashley.
and we're the bomb ass moms. So, Erica is going to join us later on the Bomb Ass Moms podcast. So, today we're going to talk about future plans as being a mom. But before then, Ashley is going to tell us how to follow.
Yep, that's right. So you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and or email us at bombasmomspodcast, and that's at gmail.com if you choose to email us. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family, because Bomb Ass Moms are going to be discussing some good juicy topics like we have been before.
Okay, so today, future plans as being a mom. Both Ashley and I, we kind of have different journeys on our path as becoming future moms and what that looks like for us.
Yep, show you right. Show
I
you
really
right.
don't know. I don't know. See, I'm pregnant now. I have 6 weeks left. What the hell am I going to do for the future? We're going to talk about it. What about
Yep.
you, Ashley?
So you right. We are very different when it comes to us being future moms. I mean, listeners out there were already moms, but we're talking about, having more kids, meaning being future moms with more kids. So Tierney just mentioned that she's pregnant now and she's gonna have a newborn and she's gonna have two babies under two. Ooh, I'm gonna be praying for you, Tierney. But what that means is for me, like I have a 9-year old and I do desire to have another child. When? I don't know. Sometime in the future. If I could predict the future, I'll tell you I'll have a child tomorrow. But that's not the case, right? Like that's not the case. But we want to get into, talking about future plans as a mom with having more kids and what that looks like. So Tierney and we're going to discuss what it looks like for us. And I'm sure some of you ladies out there probably are thinking the same thing. You may have kids already, you may want more kids. Like our girl Erica, she has two and she says she's done, but we'll let her chime in later and kind of discuss that. But yes, we wanted to discuss how
Yeah, Erica has already closed up shop. She got a partial hysterectomy after her second child, and we'll let her go through her decision on not wanting more children. I feel like they could have had one more, but hey, that's not me. More the merrier for me, but we have different ideas.
show do because Tierney want like a whole village, a whole tribe, while Ashley over here only want one more. I can do one more. But I say that for me, but let's get into me saying what I want. And I don't even have a partner. I don't even have a partner right now. So that is something that, we're going to have to take into, well, not we, me, will have to take into consideration when I decide to have a partner. Does my partner want more kids? Does my partner have kids? That's going to be like a whole nother discussion. But if I had to decide on my own today, it'll be okay. Ashley is going to have one more child. Yeah.
Okay, so Ashley, question. Well, I have a lot of questions for you because I'm very interested in like your thoughts about this. So, one, first tell the listeners how old you are and just like, okay, so your plan is what is your plan for having your child? If you could
Okay.
just think of like your perfect plan, like what's your timeline? What would you do?
So it's funny that you mentioned timeline. But before I even talk about it, you said you have a lot of questions for me, baby. When we get to you, I have a lot of questions for you because you're right. Our thought process is very different. But no, so it's so funny because I don't want to necessarily say I have a timeline because when I think about those things, sometimes I think about, hey, man, I'd have missed out. I could have had a baby when Andrew was 3 years old, another baby when Andrew was three. So it's a lot of things that, I've thought about. So I don't necessarily want to say I have a timeline to say, okay, by 38, I better be pushing out my second baby. No, I mean, ideally, I would like to have another child before I'm 40. So for those out there listening, I'm 35 at this moment. And yes, I know that I'm already at advanced maternal age when it comes to wanting to bear another child. That's fine. Again, if it's in God's plans for me to have another baby, I will have another baby no matter if I'm over 35 or not. Well, heck, I'm going to be over 35. So, yes, I want these things, but I'm not saying, okay, by 38, I need to be remarried. By 39, I need to be pushing out a baby. I'm just trying to, at this point, let it flow but knowing
Mhm.
that those are my desires and I'm praying about it and I'm speaking about it, but again, those are my desires, but who knows what God plan is for me. I have to be considerate of whoever I choose to be my partner to have another child with because I don't want to just be walking around here saying, okay, yeah, I want a baby and let me go to the sperm bank and get this baby. I mean, desperate times calls for desperate measures, and some people may consider that, but I don't want that to be a consideration for me. If that's the case, then I'm good with Andrew. So I'm just gonna continue to again pray about it and let God figure out what that age is gonna be, or if it even is gonna be another baby in my future, right?
Yeah, I think you were just reading my mind because you said something about sperm bank, and not that that was my question. So you're 35. Have you thought about freezing your eggs?
No, ma'am. I have not, but I've had friends that, have had that discussion about freezing their eggs. No, because again, for me, to be real honest, I want it to naturally happen. And so if at 40 it hasn't happened and I have like 3 eggs left, I'm gonna be praying on a whim that one of the eggs get implanted with some sperm. I don't know. I mean, I freezing my eggs has not been an option for me. Have I had friends to consider that option? Yes.
Okay, but you do know as you get older, your eggs start to deteriorate. So there's a
I do.
chance. Yeah, okay. So, I know you're a nurse. I'm just saying. We are here, we're eye to eye. But I was just, that's just a question because at one time when I was a little younger, like maybe 10 years ago, so I'm 33 now. No, damn, not 10 years, probably like 8 or 6. I was about 25, 27. And I thought that, like, oh my God, I'm never going to find a man that I want to have a baby with. But I do know that I want a child, right?
Girl, I remember this discussion. Mhm.
So I'm just gonna, get artificial insemination or, freeze my eggs. Like, I was looking for alternatives and I was like, I could be a single mom. Oh my God, was I so wrong? Like, I have a
Mm.
child now, my baby, he is 18 months, about to have my second one, and I would be so
So
devastated.
you're so funny that you say that's what you were planning, that's what you thought, and look where you are now at 33, and those plans were completely opposite of what you are where you are now. So you see
Baby,
what I'm
let me
saying? So
tell you.
like we can plan it out all we want, and I'm 35, y'all, and I'm learning to try to go with the flow and not just live by a strict timeline because in my 20s I was like that. I was like, okay, I want a baby by 30. If you recall on the previous episode, I said I had a baby at 26 and I was supposed to be 30 because I had all these plans. Well, God showed me because my plans had to adjust. Right? They had to shift and adjust. But the thing is, I wish that I could see into the future. I wish, but that's not how it works. And I can plan out saying I want a baby by X, Y, and Z, but that's not realistic to me. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go with the flow, and if it's meant to happen, it will happen. Do I desire this? Yes. It's once upon a time. I'm just gonna have a transparent moment real quick. It was once upon a time in my life where I thought that I was content with just having Andrew because the person that I dated in the past did not want any kids at all. So me having another baby was like off the table. And I realized now in the moment of going through it, I didn't realize this, right? But now looking back over it, and my one of my friends helped me see the light. She told me, she said, Ashley, never compromise self, compromise things. So if it's my desire to have another baby, to be a future mom again, then that's what I'm going to pray about and ask God for and not compromise the things that I want, or I'm sorry, compromise the self things that I value and I want versus like, compromising, hey, the color of some sheets or the color of a car or something simple.
So I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you really think that you thought you were okay with that, or were you in denial?
I think that I let other things overshadow that. So maybe I was in denial because deep down in my left ventricle, not in the right, but in the left ventricle, my heart, I knew I wanted another baby. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. But then I was letting other things overshadow what I truly wanted. Right. Looking back over it, I'm like, would I have been okay with that or would I have resented this person if we still would have been together? So, ladies out there, never compromise self, compromise things. So, if
True.
it's something in your heart that you truly desire, pray about it, meditate about it if you don't pray, and go with your gut, go with your heart. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you're not good enough, or hey, these are my values, and then you kind of not, look at what you value and what you want, because I've been there. And again, now we're having this discussion about me desiring to be a future mom. I have babies in the future, I should say. So,
Yeah, that's very important because even though we're taking a turn in this conversation, you have to think about eventually, it's like, am I going to really be happy in my life because I wanted a child? And thinking back when I was like 25, 27, I was like, yes, I want a child. But just like Ashley said, it was God's timing because at that time, I wasn't ready to be a mom. I thought I was, but God had other plans for me. And it's crazy how life has just turned out. Chris Chris was somebody that was like in my life for a long time. In and out, in and out, in and out. But who said? God said like that's your person right there. That's gonna be the person that you're gonna procreate with, you're gonna make some beautiful children with. And I didn't even know.
yeah, and Tristan is very handsome, baby.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
So,
So
sometimes we do have to be patient and you trust in God. I'm not even very religious these days, but I'm spiritual and I do believe in God, but we do have to trust in something, even if it's just like your mind thinking, like, hold on, let me take a step back and do what's best. Because at 27, I was still traveling, I was still enjoying life. I wasn't stable with anyone. When I think about what I want in the future, it's like, I want a family. I've always, since I was little, I always said, oh, before I have any children, I want to be married. And now that has changed a little bit
mhm.
because marriage is important, but having a family unit is more important. No, I was just gonna say, like, we can get married anytime, and I think that both of us have to be the right person for each other for us to get married. And that doesn't mean that we cannot be the right parents or the right people in a relationship. Marriage is just a little different. So we both have to be mature enough to want to enter into a marriage and say, hey, this is forever. Now, we have those thoughts that, yeah, this is forever, but we both have to move at our own pace and then come together and join in a marriage. So I'm all with it. And I think that may be our next discussion because I have family members and other people.
So you have family members pressuring you?
Yeah, in a sense, they have some type of thought that marriage equates to you doing certain things together. And so, since this is my second child, even with the first one, oh, when are you all getting married? You have to think about it. Chris and I, we had only began our relationship maybe 6 months before we got pregnant.
I would say is I'm listening to you, and I'm just gonna go back to that pressuring you. It's your life to live. Like, don't let family members or friends pressure you into getting married. I'm gonna tell you, I was guilty. I feel like I, would make one of my friends, well, like one of my ex friends, feel as though she should get married. And looking back over it, that's wrong. It's your life. We don't have to wake up to y'all. It's your decision. And if you all are happy right now together and you're having a discussion about or getting married, then that's what you do. Like, don't rush it on anybody else's time but your own. It's your time. And I can speak and say these things because hey, I am a person that has been married before and divorced. And I'm not saying that I was necessarily pressured. I think that some of the decisions I made when I was 20 are not the decisions I would have made when I was 30. But if I had
Mm-hmm.
like really thought about it and took my time and had a discussion about it, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today. But everything happens for a reason. It's God's timing. Yeah, no one's gonna pressure me to marrying whoever I want in the future. Same thing with kids. No one is gonna say, Ashley, you need to go and have another baby. People say that, yeah. Or it's okay to have another baby. I don't want to be a single parent of two kids if I don't have to be.
True.
I do not have to be that. I'm telling you, single parenting is hard. It is hard work. Maintaining a relationship with anybody else but yourself, to include God, is hard work. So, are you going to put in the work? Are you going to say, okay, I desire to have another baby more than, being with somebody. So, let me go on and have this baby. And then, boom, I have two kids with no partner to kind of help me. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. So, Don't let nobody pressure you, Tierney. It's y'all. It's you and Chris. Whenever y'all decide, whatever y'all decide, and just go with the flow. And
Okay, so Ashley, back to you. So 35.
me, let's go and get to me so I can get to you, because baby, I have questions. But we'll get to it. We will
Okay.
get to it.
All right, 35, you had a plan, but right now we have other things that we're waiting on God to put in our life, right? So, what are your plans? Are you just going to go with like the flow? Or, I mean, you should just trust in God. And I believe God is going to send you somebody that's going to be right on point with what you need in your life. So, what's next for you?
Okay, so you just said something that's very important and that I'm realizing at the age of 35. It's a lot of things that I'm realizing now in my mid 30s. First off, dating in your 30s is very hard. Secondly, I can now tell you, if you had asked me, hey, Ashley, when I was 20, hey, what do you value? What do you desire? What do you want in a partner? Back then, I couldn't even articulate what I wanted, let alone say have another baby, right? Or have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Thirdly, like, I'm able to now say, I want this in a partner, this in a partner, that in a partner. I'm praying about this to God, and I'm going to be patient. Do I desire to have a family and build my own traditions and have more kids? I'm sorry, one more child. Let me stand corrected. One more child? Yes. But I don't really have a plan. The plan is let God send me what I need, because a bitch can be very needy. However, it won't be needed to someone who is right for me. I think I posted something on my Instagram the other day, and I said, I'm paraphrasing. It said, your soulmate will be what you need, or something like that. And if it's not what you need, then that's not your soulmate, to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, I'm just going with the plan. Like I said, I'm talking from a single person standpoint, the things that I want and I desire, right? I might get a partner that say, well, I desire to have 3 more kids. Then I don't know if that's partner for me. Or I might get another a partner that says, or I don't even want to say partner. I'm sorry. Someone that I'm dating. And they may say, oh, well, I desire to procreate because that's what the Bible said do. Oh, okay, bet. Let's make sure we find somebody that wants to continue to procreate with you, more than one child. And then I might get somebody that say, I don't want any more kids. So it's, for me, knowing the desires that I want. It's going to be a compromise, a talk. But a deal breaker for me is someone who don't want any desire to have any children at all. Then here comes a discussion. I might have somebody that I'm dating that may have kids already, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do I accept his kids? I may get somebody, or I may date somebody that already have kids. Am I going to accept those kids as my own and be content with not biologically having another child? So it's just a lot of things. Being single and trying to find, I'm not even gonna say that perfect fit, because no one's perfect, but finding that person that balances you and then they can meet you where you need to be and vice versa. Ooh, yeah. That takes patience, and I'm trying to learn that. No, it's
Is
all
it
good.
important for you to have your own biological child versus, because you just said like if you got with somebody else, you would accept their children. But if I was in that type of situation, I would still want to share a child with someone that I think that I'm going to grow old with, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's important to me to have my own biological child, but there are other options out there like adoption or whatever. If God says, "Oh, Ashley, I don't foresee you bearing a child anymore," right? I don't know. Are my ovaries still good? Are my eggs still good? Right? So the thing is, I would like that, but I don't know if, unless I'm out here trying, which I'm not, to try to have a child in this moment. So, I mean, I would like that. But again, I don't want to like throw out all the other options. Just like you asked me earlier, have I thought about freezing my eggs? And I immediately said no. That's me talking from it just being Ashley's standpoint. But if I get a partner who may not be ready at the age of 36, 37, then there may be another topic of discussion. So I always have to consider who I'm with. If I'm talking just by myself, then these are the things that I would like or would not like. But you always have to think, hey, what are the desires of the person that you're dating, or the person that you can see yourself growing old with, and things like that. So, there may be a future topic if Ashley, comes down to having a partner that she can spend the rest of her life with, right? And they're there, and we may be having another discussion on this podcast about, this is where we stand now. The things I said some years ago, look where I'm at now. Same thing when
Yeah.
you said, Tierney, in my 20s, I thought this, but look where you are at 33.
Exactly. Exactly. Like things can change. So you just never know where your life is going to lead. And I'm in the mindset now, don't say what's going to happen. Don't say what you want because, well, you can manifest things, but sometimes that's not going to happen.
Like you said, manifest things will be okay with if it doesn't go as how you manifest or how you plan, then that's okay. Because in the past, I'll tell you now, when my plans did not go accordingly, I was pissed. But I had to realize that certain things I can and cannot control. And what I'm going to do, just be sitting all down and out because it didn't go according. No, I got to put one foot in front of the other and figure out what really meant for me. But
Yeah.
getting off of me, Tierney, let me go back to you real quick. So you
Okay.
just let the listeners know. I have questions for you. You let the listeners know that you have an 18-month-old and
Mhm.
you're pregnant now and you're due to have your baby girl soon. What are this probably sounds silly to ask, but your baby girl do you want more kids? What are your future plans? Do you say, hey, you're gonna wait? Do you foresee yourself having more kids with Chris? I mean, I know these are a lot of questions that I'm asking, but I'm just asking because you will have two under two. So are you desiring to have more kids?
Okay, so I this is exactly how I feel. So I will be very content with my boy and girl. And I thank God that he gave them to me like he has. I was so overjoyed when I found out I was having a little girl cuz I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh my God, I got my boy and my girl." But I am very open to having more children. The thing is, I do not want to have children after a certain age.
What age? Because baby, you 33. What you saying? You don't want to have any more kids after 35? That's 2 years. What?
Exactly. Exactly. After 35, I'm done. Chris is okay with getting a snip snip. So if I got pregnant at 35, okay, that's fine. But I'm not trying to have children at 36. This is just me. This is my life. This is how or this is not what I want. But hey, God may have other plans. That's just what I plan for. I don't want to have children or get pregnant after the year of 35. So once I'm 36, that's it for me. If I'm good.
Okay, so how many more kids do you want if you're 33 now and you said you don't want to have kids after 36, 35? Are you planning on just waiting your 6 weeks, getting in, and then getting pregnant again? I'm just wondering. I'm sorry. Some people out there
No.
do that. I'm just wondering.
No. One is actually not healthy to get pregnant within a year. That's what they say. And sorry to say this, I mean, African Americans, we already have a high mortality and morbidity rate with birthing children. I want to make sure that my body is healthy and can withstand another pregnancy. So,
Mhm.
no, I plan on waiting close to a year, like I did this time. It
Okay.
wasn't quite, yeah, it was like almost a year because Tristan was born in June. I got pregnant in like April.
Okay.
So it was close to a year. The next baby's hopefully within a year. So what I wanted, which may not be God's plan for me, and we may go through this process, or by the time we get to that age,
You said, I have a question for you though, real quick, before you go into what your plan is, because I'm gonna forget if I don't ask. You said that you want babies within the next year or so because you waited a year almost before you got pregnant with your baby girl. So my question for you, Tierney, with everything that you just said, and I know you have a partner. So has this been a discussion with your partner as far as having more babies? Not how you would have those babies, but having more babies. Because you mentioned that Chris was okay with getting snip snip. So tell me from a standpoint of having a partner, have y'all had this discussion and how did that discussion go? Just for people out there who, may have partners and having a discussion about being future moms and having babies.
so yes, I'll tell you, Chris and I, we talk about everything. Like it could be the craziest thing, and we will have a discussion about it because I am big on communication. Some things we're not so good on. Communication is one of those. But when I feel like there's a subject that really impacts both of us in our lives, we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
And when I was thinking about, hey, we got a boy and a girl now. If God is willing, bring her into this world healthy, we will have a boy and a girl. I was like, I only want to be pregnant one more time, but I want to have twins.
Baby? Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I want to have twins. And he's like, okay. So he's like on board. But also, I think he was thinking I was a little crazy. He's like, you can't even deal with this 18-month-old. How are you gonna deal with an 18-month-old, a newborn, and then down the line you have a 3-year old, a 1-year old, and then pregnant with twins?
Tell Chris because he gonna help you. That's how.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's going to take both of us. And I'm not sure if this is where our path will lead, but this is kind of what I was thinking that I wanted, because I was thinking, like, okay, if I have a third single birth,
Uh-huh.
then it'll be like, oh, I may have 2 boys and 1 girl.
You wanna make it even is what you trying to say.
Yeah, I would rather have 2 boys, 2 girls. So we do have a lot of research to do, but I was thinking about just not artificially inseminating, but what is it called? In vitro.
Uh-huh.
So doing in vitro where I would harvest my eggs and then we would inseminate those, one boy sperm, one female sperm, and then put them back in, basically.
That's the discussion you and Chris have had, or that's what you said y'all are gonna talk
Oh
about?
no, that we've already talked about it. We've looked in, well, we kind of researched how much it's gonna cost. We've had discussions about it. We do need
So
to dig a little deeper, but he's on board.
I have a question. Can you please let the listeners know out there? You mentioned in vitro. You mentioned that y'all looked up prices. So can you please let the listeners out there know that, if you're considering being a future mom and you're going this route, like how expensive can it get? How you have to weigh out all the options? Like what is kind of like the process? I know you haven't started the process, but at least you looked into it. Can you let people out there know? Because some people are misguided and don't really know about it.
So for me, I looked at in vitro. Well, I looked at two options actually: in vitro and just taking the drugs that will make you over ovulate. That was my first option, just to take drugs to make you over ovulate. Because I was thinking, like, hey, yeah, it matters if we have a girl or a boy, but to me, the most important thing is if we just have twins. Because I asked Chris, I was like, hey, what's the most important thing for you? Is it that we have a boy and a girl, or if we just have twins? And he said, well, I think if we're going to have twins, I think it's best if we have a boy and a girl. So, of course, they will be fraternal. And so, okay, yeah, that does make sense. So then that led us down the path of in vitro. We would have to do in vitro because I was thinking, like, at first, okay, once you turn 35, you have a higher rate of having twins anyway.
Really?
Yes, I've looked at this. Yes.
Lord, please don't let that happen to me, Lord, please. I'm praying.
First of all, African American women have the highest rate of twins, and that's just like
Oh,
racially.
Lord.
Not African American women, but just, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know the politically correct name for African women, women with African descent. Us, black women. Boom, we have a higher incident of twins, and so other than any other race, right?
You don't wanna have a baby after 35, which will increase your chances of having twins? I'm just asking.
Well, but see,
I'm
this is the thing. If I could just, trust in science, I just rather get it right. Just go ahead. Yes, I know it may
Yeah.
be expensive. And these days, it used to be like in vitro was starting at like 50,000 back in the day. But today is much cheaper. So depending on what type of, I guess, process you want to go through, it started as cheap as 15,000.
Really? Wow. I thought
Yeah.
that it was really expensive because 'cause I've seen people online, like, start GoFundMe pages and stuff for this process, so that's interesting to note.
Well, but you also got to think about like how many rounds certain people have to do and what their issues are. So I don't have an issue with ovulation. I don't have an issue with carrying a child. I don't have issues with birthing. Not yet. I don't have those issues. It's just like this is of convenience, which sounds kind of crazy, but hey, this is the world we live in today. Science makes a lot of stuff happen for people. So if we as a family can afford it and this is what we want, why not try to go down that path?
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so yeah, ladies, for anyone out there that's thinking about in vitro, the entire process, or other options, please research it for yourself. Like I said, I began my research. I didn't go in depth to like go to a doctor's appointment or to speak to a specialist. I didn't do that yet because, again, I have maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years at this point to get it all together and think about like what's the right path for myself. I do want to do this, it's very important to me, but I will be more than happy to just have my two piece. And that's important because I've heard from people like, oh my God, that twin life is so hard. But who knows where our life will lead. And God may see it fit that I have these twins. And He may see it fit that, I don't. So we will see when that time comes, where we'll be.
I can't wait to see because, baby, at least you desire to have those twins. So if you have twins, ooh, I'll be like, my sister had twins, y'all. Yep, I can come over to TT Babies because my
TT
twins.
baby. When I was younger, I never thought that I would want four children. I always thought like two is good. I always thought in my head, like, yes, I want children because I want to give my children the motherly love that I never received from my biological mom. So I always wanted that in my life. I wanted someone or something that I can love because your children, you have a different love for them than anybody else in this world. So I always wanted that. I don't know what you call it.
Unconditional love,
Yes.
unconditional feeling. Like the
Yes.
thing is, and God has blessed you to have Tristan, and now you're about to have your baby girl. So, hey, look where your life is now compared to what you thought was gonna happen in your 20s, right?
That's true. Don't
But yeah,
laugh. Don't laugh.
I'm
Don't
just
laugh. Because
saying.
that was totally crazy. That was a crazy. I
Mhm.
mean, a lot of women do that these days, but that wasn't the right path for me. And like looking back at it, if I would have ever chosen to be a single mom, to me it's devastating. But I know a lot of the bomb ass moms out there, they do it every day, and I know it's hard.
Hard is an understatement. I'm just speaking from experience, but yeah, you're right. And for the bump ass moms out there listening, if you have questions, if you have comments that you would like to share with us, like your story, your testimony, please make sure you hit us up on IG and Facebook or even email us. We want to hear your story. You want to hear it so we can read it, share, relate. Just don't forget to do that. I know we don't say it a lot, but we're out here wanting to know what you think too.
Okay, so Ashley, you and I have been talking for a while. Let's take a quick break because I think our girl Erica is finally here.
Yeah, and her story is completely different than Tyranny and I. So go ahead, let's take this break.
All right, what's up, ladies? I am back. What's been going on?
Hey,
What did I
girl.
Hey
miss?
girl,
So,
hey.
so Erica, you missed a lot. Not to make you feel bad, but you missed a lot.
It's completely different than you, Erica, though, so you ain't gonna feel bad when you hear Tyranny tell you.
Okay.
Yes. So we've been discussing being future moms, our plans, what we plan to do. And not to leave you out, but girl, I already know. You already did the little snip snip. You had a partial hysterectomy. So we got some questions for you on why did you decide that and how did you know that you didn't want any more children?
Well, yes, I did. I did get snip snip. For me, making the decision not to want to have any more children, number one, my children are 15 years apart. That's number one. So my original plan was, I've always said, if Maine, which is that's my oldest, if he reached the age of 10, I didn't want any more children. And even though 10 is a stretch too to have another child, but I think 10 was like my age limit on trying to have, like try to give birth to another child after that. But God had other plans. But for me, making the decision to not want any more children, for me, it's just children take time. And don't get me wrong, I love my children, but it's still a lot in life that I want to explore. And children put your life on hold. Like you have to put your life on hold to make sure that you doing the best as a mom. And I like to travel a lot. So taking kids on or taking your children on certain trips and just being able to have that. Don't get me wrong, we do have help now, but it's not like when you were taking a trip with just you and your significant other. Now it's you have to take your children, and it's just a lot. It's a lot packing up as a parent.
That's true, Erica. I don't mean to interrupt, but you have some bum ass moms out there though that travel with their kids. Their kids have more passport stamps than some of
You
us.
sure got that right, girl.
Yeah.
You
Because
sure got
what
that
I'm thinking of, what I think that I'm going to do, because I do love traveling. And one thing that's holding us back now is Chris is in the military. But other than that, I think I'm just going to hire me a nanny.
Mhm.
And the requirement is you got to have a passport and be able to travel.
I know
Baby,
that's right.
she take her
I
nanny
know, I
international.
know that's right. I know that's
Hey,
right. Children are definitely a blessing, and big ups to the women out there that want to have more children. Have all the children you want, but for me, I had a time. I had a time, but I had a limit. And this is my limit too. And I'm 30. I'm in my early 30s. I'm 31, but still, even if that was a decision, when would I have another child? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, I just have to cut it out somewhere. But I'm grateful for my two, and I love my two dearly.
Erica, you in your 30s, and Tierney and I were having a discussion about this, and we were saying the things that we want and desire. It's our wants, but sometimes we have to look at what God has for us.
Mm-hmm.
You made a comment, I'm in my 30s, what it look like me having another child? If you didn't get that partial, maybe it could have been in God's plan for you to have another child, but we don't know, but
yeah.
life happens, things happen, and this is where we are now.
Could have been. It definitely could have been, but I was fairly young when I gave birth to my first child. So having that experience with a partner that is 100% there, it definitely hit different this time. So I was able to get that experience. Like, being able to go to the doctor, every doctor's appointment, just walking holding my hand through it all. So, and still being there after. So I'm glad to experience that. But saying I'm going to
Yeah.
get pregnant again? Nah.
That does
Oh,
make a difference though when you have the support from your partner.
I
It
was just
makes
about to
the
say.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it makes the pregnancy easier.
Mm-hmm.
Tierney, we talked about this before Erica joined us. Me saying if I want to do this again by myself, but she's just, she's a living testimony that it's easier when your partner there to help you and be there with you versus just doing this shit by yourself.
Yeah.
Cause nobody, man,
No, don't
I'm
nobody
telling
want to
you.
be doing that alone.
I mean, but I will say this. This is the Bum Ass Moms podcast, but shout out to the bum ass dads out there that's doing it by themselves, though,
Yep,
because we do
shout
have
Yeah.
shout out to them who are out there, grinding and doing it and taking care of their business, taking care of their kids by themselves due to unforeseen circumstances, whether the mom wanted to be there or not, the mom passed away. Shout out to the bum ass dads out there. I
shout
just
out
had
to
to
the
say
dads.
Yes, shout out to my boo because he is a great dad and he's always there. I know, I just got to make him feel special cuz Chris, looking back at both of our lives, not having one of our parents with us, him not having an example of what a father is, he is a wonderful dad. And I probably don't tell him enough, but boo, thank you so much. You're great.
Oh, well, since you shouting at your man, let me shout out my fiance too. That works hard to do everything he can for his family. Cause shout out to him for doing everything that he can for his family. He works hard.
yeah.
He is dedicated. Trey, that's best bud. That's his name. That's his
Let me shout out Marcus and Chris and pick up cigars since I ain't got no partner right now.
That's okay,
But
Ashley.
no,
That's
for real,
okay.
shout out to the
It's
dudes. I
coming,
cannot.
Ashley.
It's coming.
It's
It's
It is
coming.
coming. You right. You are right. I can't wait until it comes so I can have my discussion with my girls to be like, y'all, look what I was saying a few years ago, and look where God has brought me. Now, if he still have me single out here in these streets, I'm gonna have to be talking to him again now.
No, we gonna be on here like Ashley's got a man at home.
That's funny.
You know
Not
the
the
song.
tune,
You
though.
know the song.
Not the tune, though.
Yeah, yes. Ain't no Shantae, it's Ashley.
Yes.
Oh Lord, y'all crazy. But wait for it. I'm waiting for it. But in the meantime, I'm keeping my options open. That's the motto for 2023, right? Keeping your options open. I'm just anyway, back to being a future mom on this podcast.
Future mom, shout out to me. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. I'm gonna give a shout out to you and Tyranny for wanting to experience more children. Again, they're a beautiful thing. And yeah, shout out to y'all. Look, I'll be a TT over and over and over again.
You know, this pregnancy, I would say this, it has been totally different from Tristan. But will I do it again? Yes, I will. And I'm actually kind of excited. God might even bless us with twins. You know,
The natural way.
yeah. Or he might say, hey, I'm throwing a wrench in your plan and you're not having twins. You about to have this one baby and you're going to be through.
Well, what if you say triplets here? What's gonna be your reaction? What if he give you more than what you desire?
Well, no, what happened with that?
I'm asking, what if what if you
What if I had triplets, baby? We just having triplets.
and then you'll be done for real, right?
Oh yes. Oh yes. He gonna snip that thing on off. Yeah. It's snip snip, baby. Yeah. If we had triplets, hey, that's just what God intended for. And I'm fine
Yeah.
with it. I'm okay with having triplets. Now quads, oh Lord, please. Y'all know, excuse me, but y'all know abortion is illegal now in certain states. Well, most states. So I wouldn't abort a healthy child like that. I just,
Just give them to me. Then that saves me
Save
time.
you time, girl. You gotta look. You ain't even gotta go through the process.
Now I might want to go through the process because the bitch don't want a period for 9 months.
Oh my God. Well, actually more than that, actually, because you breastfeed, so you gotta
Right. I didn't have
months.
a cycle for 13
Ooh,
months.
wow.
Baby, that was love. That was love.
You
Thank
got
you, God.
lucky. Mine came back at 7 months.
Well, that's still a long
13.
time, Tyranny. That's 7 months.
Yeah,
It is.
see, I don't have issues with my cycle, so I wasn't really messed up about it. The only thing that kind of scared me or made me upset about my cycle coming on around that time, your breast milk supply decreases. And I was like, oh my God, my baby's gonna be really hungry. My baby was constantly on me, and that was because I wasn't producing enough.
Speaking of baby being constantly on you, since we're talking about future mom plans, you breastfeeding, yes? No? Maybe 2 babies on 1 breast?
See, Tristan is supposed to be weaned, but he got circumcised, then he got sick, and now he's spoiled as hell. You're not supposed to say a kid is spoiled, but oh my gosh, like he will not let up off of me. And it could be just like this maternal thing. He knows I'm carrying a baby and it's a girl. So he is really clingy. But now, like, I've gotten him down. He'll get on the breast in the morning and at night before he goes to sleep. And sometimes like before a nap. So that's at least 3 times, well, the most 3 times a day. Hopefully we can start like taking away those breastfeeding sessions. Listen, one thing you got to know about me, I'm a researcher. I know what my doctor said, but I'm still going to research it. If I have to look at literary journal, whatever, it's actually okay to continue to breastfeed as long as you do not have any complications in pregnancy. So for this pregnancy, I have not had any complications.
Tyranny, I want to go back and say something. I just want to be clear for the listeners out there. My girl Tyranny says she does her own research. She is not insinuating that you don't listen to your doctors. However, it's not a bad idea to do further research yourself from peer-reviewed research. So don't take it as she's saying she didn't listen to her doctor. She did, but she just went a step further. So I just want to be clear about that.
Yeah, it's always important to do your own research, but listen to your doctors because they do know your background, your medical history. They know that, but also I am a nurse. So sometimes, not saying that outweighs a physician's order at all, but I know how to take care of myself. I do know what's best for me. And one, with breastfeeding my child while I've been pregnant, I haven't had any contractions. I haven't had any bleeding. I did make sure that my baby that I still have inside in utero, she's healthy, she's growing like she's supposed to. So in those terms, I've done everything that I'm supposed to.
Whoop, whoop.
That is awesome. Little poo poo on the way, 2023.
Yes, January 2023. About to
January.
be
Yeah.
out.
Look, you
Yes.
finna be popping out, and then I'm finna have one turning one.
Wow.
Yeah, it just seems like I was just pregnant on yesterday, and boom,
It
I
does
got a
go by
one.
fast.
Yeah, it go by fast. You just, I say, cherish your moments with your kids, your babies. Love on them while they're small, because when they get old, they hit different. Yeah, they're gonna be like, okay,
Well,
no, I want to hang out with you.
my little one, listen, my little one is not 2, but he's already having like little meltdowns, little tantrums. And I'm like, how am I supposed to deal with this?
You got it. He gonna be the terrible 2 and a terrific 3. Watch. He gonna be good when he 3, baby. You gonna be like,
Well,
man, just like
see,
night and day.
this is the thing. I don't need that because, see, he needs to set a great example for his sister. And I don't need her thinking, oh, it's okay to act like.
She ain't gonna think that. She ain't gonna think that. By the time she get old enough to understand, she ain't gonna think that.
I hope not.
Come here, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Because they so close in age.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. Now, me and my brother were close in age, and I was wishing he was 6 years younger. I'm just
Nah, it's not 6 years younger.
because my older brother's 6 years older. So I was like, Mom, you could have waited 6 more years. Dang.
How many children does your mama have, Ash?
3, 2 boys and a girl. See, it wasn't evenly balanced. I didn't get a sister from my mama Tierney. So hey, listen, if you are gonna have more, yeah, go on to balance it out, because you don't want one of the siblings being lonely.
See, that's what I was thinking about. See, I think it's important for them to be balanced because Tristan needs a boy that he can be rough with, and Triani, she needs another princess. So that's the goal. But God has his own plans. I have my plan.
Right.
God has his plans, and we'll see if they're coming together. So in a couple more years, guys, if I be like, y'all, guess what? I got my 2. God.
I'm ready to see this. I wish I had magic power to like see in the future, but I don't. It's all good because, baby, if I did, I'd be a millionaire somewhere on somebody's beach.
Okay. Girl. Look, Ash, that means in the next year or 2 down the line, you gotta find you somebody so you can have you some kids. Look, all our kids be in the same age bracket.
Let me tell you, Erica, she's not gonna have to find anybody. God is gonna send
That's
her
right.
the person.
That's right, girl.
That she
That's what I said. I'm praying about it.
God will send her the person that she needs, not
Absolutely.
somebody that she wants.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right.
It could be somebody you want, but God will send you the perfect person that you need.
All right, God, I'm waiting. I'll wait.
Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Wait on yourself. And y'all, with that, we're gonna wrap it up because
Yep.
we're gonna have faith in God, and we have a lot of future plans as being a mom, becoming moms again. We're going to speak our best lives in existence.
That's right.
So, with that being said, y'all don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share. You can find us on IG and Facebook, Bomb Ass Moms Podcast, and you can also email us if you have any questions. Leave us comments. We're gonna start posting on our IG. Thank you for being followers and listening to us every week.
Yep.
Until next time, ladies.